United hosting Brentford, where we need to restore a bit of pride. So we're going to be talking about, is he going to play the youngsters? Is that a good idea? Are the attackers, other than Ronaldo, of course, going to find their mojo? Let's check it out. Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Brentford preview. United hosting the Bees.
The Bees.
As they're called. I've got Joe Swift with me. Joe, you excited, nervous, anxious, underwhelmed? All of the above?
All of them. I'm not particularly nervous because it's just sort of almost doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
This is when I think we have to start seeing some of the young kids because there's nothing to lose, there's nothing to gain. Let's at least give some people who may have a future at Manchester United a few minutes. But I wouldn't say I'm nervous, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Now, one of the issues we've got, one of the many issues we've got at Manchester United Football Club is, other than Cristiano Ronaldo, no one scores goals for us. Fred, I think, has got a goal. I think other than him, we've got Jadon Sancho in the derby. He got a goal.
Yeah.
And then we've also got Elanga in Madrid.
Yeah.
And then we're going back to about Leeds in it. I mean,
yeah.
What's going on? Why is it only Ronaldo who can score for us?
Because they've all given up, but Ronaldo only has it in him to give up 2%. Whereas the rest have it in them to give up 90%.
Yeah.
So we're just seeing each player playing for themselves, playing for their own pride. And most of these players don't have the winning mentality, the physical mentality, in terms of pressing and keeping fit and staying on it like Ronaldo does. He's got one of the great mentalities in the history of sport. He is Michael Jordan. He is Tiger Woods. He is, as good as anyone ever in terms of staying on it, staying sharp, staying focused. And that is what's dragging him through. He's still making the runs. He's still pressing. He's still running in behind. He's still doing all these things that he can do because he can't switch off. And it must be a nightmare to live with. Someone with that mentality where, I bet him and his son are having beans on toast. And it's, I finished first. He's like, yeah, I'm 6, Dad. Of course you finished. Yeah, I know, but I finished my beans on toast so fucking fast. He cannot switch it off, which is what we're seeing now. Because he can't switch it off and everyone else can, they all look shit, and he still looks himself because he's, again, one of the great elite mentalities of all time. And we are seeing Ronaldo at 100% pretty much, maybe 98%, and everyone else at 50%. And the difference is staggering. The fact that he's 20 years older than some of the players he's playing next to, and he looks fitter, stronger, younger, more intense, more into it than they do, is quite frankly embarrassing for a lot of them. But I mean, again, another testament to his quality.
It is a testament to his quality, and it's been discussed thousands of times, but where would we be without Cristiano Ronaldo this season?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I think we'd have to just, do something else. With all that being in mind then, is it time to start looking towards the youngsters who, you talk about Ronaldo being at the elite level where he's so driven, he so wants to perform just because he's got that in him, and he's always got that mentality of, even if the team loses, I'm not just saying he only plays for himself, but if the team loses, at least he has the goal of, he wants to keep getting these goals and becoming the greatest goal scorer of all time. Yeah. He has that for him. The youngsters who might want to break into the team show, not just Ralph Rangnick, of course, because it's that ship's almost sailed, but Erik ten Hag, what they're capable of, and just play for United, get that under the belt. Is it time to start looking at the likes of maybe Hannibal Mejbri, Garnacho, those types of players?
Definitely.
Because we've seen little cameos, and I do say cameos. I think Garnacho had about 12 seconds.
Yeah.
But we've seen Ralph giving them a bit of a chance. Do we need to say, listen, the season's almost done. Let's get somebody younger, hungrier players in to go alongside Ronaldo and show some of these just absolute shambolic people representing our club what it's about.
I would, yeah. I can see why he didn't do it against Arsenal or City or Liverpool or Chelsea, because you can mess up someone's reputation or mindset with an absolute drubbing. Because it is conceivable that we could have played against the top team or one of these teams and been absolutely destroyed and taken the piss out of if you play 17-year-olds who've never played first-team football. But now you're playing Brentford, who, whilst I'm not expecting us to blow them away, because even, look at the form there, we just are worse than everyone we play.
Brentford are all right.
They are all right, but they're not Chelsea.
No.
I think
in
even
form terms, they're doing well.
Yeah, and I think even if we had a bad day, we're probably not going to lose 5-0. Whereas if we'd have had a bad day against Chelsea, we could have.
Yeah.
So I think now's the time to bring the youth players in. the chance of their reputation being utterly decimated by Brentford is pretty slim.
No, I get that.
The rest of the team need, this thing of playing for Ten Hag, they're not doing it. They are all under the knowledge that they're all going to get given a fair shake over the summer, so I can do whatever the fuck I want now because Andreas Pereira's going to get a go in the summer.
Yeah.
So what me playing a few bad games before the end of the season, that's not going to rule me out under Ten Hag. So they're all going to, phone it in, get some of the youngsters in, and like I said, you're probably not going to ruin the reputation of these 17-year-olds against Brentford. Famous last words. So now's the time to take the risk, I think. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I agree. With that. I think that, it gives the crowd a bit of a lift. It gives them the crowd are getting fed up with some of these players, you can tell.
Yeah.
You can see it and sense it. They're just sick of it. And it's like, I think, United fans will back young players. It will give you that thing of like, let's support them, let's get behind them. And people may go, well, you should support anyone who puts a shirt on, but it's difficult when you're watching players just sauntering around the pitch, just not really looking like they're not that bothered, like they've already checked out for the summer. And the results, as you say, are awful. We're in this horrible, horrible run. And I just feel like maybe if the youngsters were there, they'd have that motivation. They'd be trying, it'd get the crowd going. We saw what Hannibal did against Liverpool, was that cameo where he started kicking people. Everyone was loving that. We need a bit more effort, a bit more energy, and youngsters bring that. So I wouldn't be against starting a couple of youngsters. With all that being said, give us your predicted 11.
Yeah, I have put a couple of the young players in that you can see there. So we've got De Gea in goal, again, picks himself. I think that back four, whilst I'm not a big fan of a lot of the players in it, picks itself in terms of who's fit, who's available. Then we've got McTominay, Fred, and I have gone with Hannibal in the midfield. I think he deserves it. Like, a lot of the players who play every week don't deserve to keep playing every week, and yet they do. So let's play someone who has shown a bit of excitement, a bit of intensity, is a very promising player, could be a first team, Manchester United player in future seasons. Give him a chance. It's the last home game of the season, where traditionally United have given a couple of youth players a go, often because we'd already had the league sewn up. But it is a bit of a tradition that United tend to do that. So get him in, give him a chance. Again, Matic is leaving in the summer and has barely pulled up trees other than the tree that he is over the last few weeks. So I would get Hannibal in, and I've gone with Garnacho on that right-hand side as well. Again, same reason. I think Elanga looks tired. He's being overplayed at the moment, which is the story of every semi-promising young Manchester United player over the last 5 years. I don't think he needs to start. He's not scored in a long time.
No.
He's not looking at his best. He sort of drifts in and out of games, which is understandable because he's just turned 20. So give Garnacho a chance. Sancho brought back in. I'm hopeful that his tonsillitis will have cleared, or that he
wasn't available
to play
for Chelsea
in this game. So I've gone with him, and then obviously Ronaldo goes up front. I think there's a thing in Ronaldo's head. How many goals is he on in total now? 800 and something, isn't it?
Something ridiculous. I've lost count.
Broke Bischan's record the other week, I think. I think he wants to get 1,000 goals.
Yeah.
I think he 1,000 proper, not Pele goals.
Yeah.
I think he's playing for that. So I think before he retires, he wants 1,000 goals. So he's going to play every week. He's going to do his best to score every week, and you have to play him. He's our top scorer in every competition, and he's been excellent.
He has been excellent.
What are you going for?
It's quite similar actually. If you bring up my team here, you can see so similar to yourself there. Yeah. I mean, back four, we haven't got great options at the minute. Don't get me started on our fullbacks because it's painful to watch. I'm sorry, it just is.
Yeah.
We know obviously Harry Maguire's missing, Luke Shaw's missing, so I've just sort of picked who I think he'll choose because he's running out of options. There was a slight inkling in me: is he going to give Phil Jones a start? Just because he came on against Chelsea, and maybe he might just say, you know what, he started against the Scouts as well, didn't he? Maybe he says Brentford, or you can do a job or whatever. But I think he might just stick with Lindelof and Varane. Midfield, I've got McTominay in the holding role. Matic, I can't see playing again so soon after the Chelsea game. I've thrown Hannibal in, playing alongside Bruno, again for the reasons you said. Give us a bit of a chance there with the youngsters, and maybe they can, he can be a bit of a catalyst for something. I was tempted to play Garnacho. I'm just sticking with this front three because maybe it's just more hope than expectation. I'm just wondering when it gets to a point where what Ronaldo's doing just hurts the pride of some of these players. And they're going, come on, man, we've got to step up. We're playing alongside a 37-year-old who's just banging in goals every week. One of the greatest players of all time. And between Rashford and Elanga, I don't think they've scored for about 20 games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like
It's really
grim.
quite terrible. Isn't
It is. It is. You know, Langer obviously has got some goals. I mean, goals against Leeds, goal against Athletic, whoever. But he's, you know, I think is it 9 or 10 games?
Him and Rashford have got the same amount of goals this season.
Yeah, and like neither of them have tore up trees, and I know there's different reasons. You know,
Yeah.
Langer is a youngster, so he gets, you know, rightly gets a bit of a pass. He was 19 up until recently, so I'm not having a dig at the kid, but he's been overplayed.
Yeah.
Rashford has been woeful this season.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering how long it takes before something they just go, we've got to step up here.
I don't think it's coming back before the end of the season.
No, I know
don't think
Langer
they've
got an
it in
assist
them.
against Norwich, then he did well there, but other than that, it's just been nothing to write home about. Look, talking of Brentford, I mean, it's like one extreme to the other. United are just underachieving. Everything's negative. We've got all these superstars who just aren't doing what they should be doing. Brentford the other way around. People thought they might be getting relegated. They're comfortable now in sort of mid-table-ish. A big part of that has been Christian Eriksen. Since he's come in, I think he's played 7 games. They've won 5 of them and lost 1. He scored 1 goal and got 2 assists. I mean, he's been a revelation, Annie, really, for me.
He was the season before he sort of got isolated at Tottenham. He was arguably the best player in the league. It was like him, Hazard, and Alexis Sanchez, like the 3 best kind of players in the league that season. He's an unbelievable player at his best, and he's not that old.
He's 30, I think.
Yeah, he's relatively young. Obviously, he's had his heart issue. He was, like I said, sort of isolated at Tottenham and hasn't quite got back to the levels he was pre then because of his play style. He's such an intense, high-energy player that you kind of, you know, if you're not quite right, you look a bit all over the place. But he's a brilliant player, great finisher, great passer of the ball, kind of not dissimilar to Bruno Fernandes in that all-energy, brilliant sort of delivery. I don't think he's got quite the sort of dynamism that Bruno has, but he's a great player, and him at his best is, no offence, too good for Brentford, but they've got him due to the difficulties he's had in his career. And the one thing with him, and I've mentioned this before, but do you know the whole Brandon Williams thing, where he went to like headbutt him or nut him or punch him, and he didn't because it was him, and he's got a dicky heart. If I was Christian Eriksen in bed that night, I'd be like, fuck's sake, I wish he'd hit me.
Yeah.
I wish he'd hit me because now I feel like a bit of a little charity boy.
No, I mean,
I'd hate that.
Yeah.
If I was getting a little scrap in football and someone looked at me, I can't because he's ill.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, fuck's sake, I'm a little dweeb.
Yeah.
So I hope someone hits him.
Right.
And not for them, for him. Treat him like everybody else. Do you know the kid at school where you're like, do you want to come play with us? Don't patronise people. Come play with us, you dickhead.
So you want to see Hannibal Mensbury?
Just because you got rickets don't mean you can't play football.
First minute, 2-footer.
Yeah.
Like,
treat him like everybody else. Don't
like he treated James Milner, Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
And Sadio Mane. He just went into him.
Yeah.
Do that with him.
Yeah. None of this like, oh, how you doing, mate? How's the old? Don't worry about.
I want to see that. I want to see it in the tunnel.
Yeah, me too.
I want to see like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Do you want some, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want.
Like, right, what's going on
That's
there?
what I want.
Yeah, a bit of that.
Yeah.
We'll see you out there. Like
Yeah,
Keno,
exactly.
See you out there.
Yeah.
Eh?
That's what I want to see.
And Eriksen's just
and
like...
that's not for me. That's for Christian.
Yeah.
That's what
that's us helping him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, they're a good team. Let's be honest. They're better than us.
Of course they are.
I was talking to my dad on
They've
the
won
phone.
5 out of 7 when we ever done that.
I was talking to my dad and he was saying, every single team that Manchester United play since Christmas has been better than us. We've won some and we've actually got some results, but almost every game we've played, we've been worse than the opposition.
Yeah.
But occasionally, Ronaldo basically has sort of dragged us through. Other than Leeds where we kind of battered them, it's basically like we played Norwich. We were worse than Norwich, but we just happened to have better players.
Yeah, they've got Timo Pukki, we've got Cristiano Ronaldo.
And that was the difference.
Worlds apart.
But it's like we are worse than everyone we play. So
Everton
we're worse than Everton.
Awful.
And we deserve to lose that game.
Everton and Norwich and probably Watford are all going to be kicking around in the Championship next season. And we've played all 3 of them teams. We've lost and drew to Everton. We've scraped it against Norwich twice. And we've lost and drew with Watford.
Disgusting.
That's the Championship.
So what to expect is Brentford will be better than us, but we might beat them because we've got better players than them.
All right, go on. What's your score prediction then?
2-1 United. But they're going to have probably as many shots as us. I reckon it'll be like one of them games like we saw with Leicester, the other 1-1 at Old Trafford. I think it'll be one of those games where it's like we both have 11 shots. They have 3 on target. We have 4 on target. We win 2-1. But it'll be a close game where they look faster, stronger, fitter, more excited and brighter than us, but we might just edge it. What are you saying?
I think we'll get done.
Yeah.
I think it could be quite
Fatty.
A horrible day at the office. You know what? I'm not doing it to get clips up, because I ain't getting clips up. And people will ram this down my throat if we win. But I could see it being 3-4-1 to Brentford.
Yeah.
I think we'll
They're
go
not the Watford game.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
Yeah.
Like, we might, Ronnie might get a goal, whatever, because that's what he does. But because we're going for it and the crowd are up for it and everything, they'll counter, they'll get a goal, like Ivan Toney or someone. Then the crowd will turn, because it's like, Brentford, what's going on here? They'll be like, actually, this United team is awful.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're not very good. Like, that whole sort of aura we've got will go, and they'll keep attacking. And because defensively we're all over the gaff, and they can score goals, and their tails are up, they'll get a few more.
Have you noticed?
Honestly, and I know that sounds like people go in the comments, oh, JB negative. I'm not, and I'd hate to see that. I'm going to be there. I'm going to get behind the team like you always do and go to Old Trafford, and I want to see us batter him. And I want to see the youngsters get a chance. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they'll do us.
I could see it. I could definitely see
Honestly.
it. Have you noticed how, since Maguire's not been playing, people don't know how to criticise the defence anymore?
Yeah.
Like, Maguire became a byword for defensively we're bad. Maguire's shit. When actually they mean the midfielders aren't tracking the men, or the fullbacks are shit, or De Gea didn't come out for it, or Varane made a mistake.
Yeah.
But he's not playing it. I feel like you can hear people in their head going, oh, I can't say a word that starts with M because he's not on the fucking pitch.
And also, it's like...
And we're still disgusting defensively.
It's like with Varane, we know he's a good player.
Yeah.
But when he does bad things, you don't know what to do with that.
No.
Because it's like, well, it's still Raphael, it's still Champions League Varane.
Yeah.
But
he did slice a clearance away from Alex Telles that went straight to Saka, that then got rebounded in for Arsenal's first goal. He was all over the place. Like, we're just so bad defensively. Yeah. We can put whichever pieces we want, slot them in, slot them out, like a little game of multi-link that you used to have at school. And every single way, the shape is still a human penis. It is just awful.
A human penis, it's just awful. That's where we're going to... So let's, punch Christian Eriksen and we're a human penis.
I mean that in a nice way. Everyone watching knows what I mean by that. Treat him like everyone else. I'm not saying...
Yeah. That's what we say. But you know what we mean. Joe, where can people find you?
Joe Smith 93 on Twitter, or on the Sloppy Joe's podcast on YouTube.
Make sure you check it out. Very, very funny himself, Joe McGrath. And our producer Ethan James getting in on the acts as well, which is good to see. You know what? Find me, Jay Motti, on those socials. Make sure you are checking out the watch along. Who's on the watch along? TBC, I love him. He's so funny. So make sure you check it out. If you're not doing, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 700,000 subscribers by the end of the season. With your support, we can do it. This has been the Brentford preview. Thanks for watching.